Divide this polynomial, it's a cubic polynomial, by this polynomial g of x and find the quotient and the remainder. The remainder, if it is 0, then this becomes a factor. If it is not, then basically remainder will be some value. R of x, I'm going to tell you two things. One, it can be 0. When will you know we have reached R of x? If it is not 0, the degree of R of x should be less than the degree of g of x. What's the degree of g of x? Degree of g of x is equal to 2. So if we don't get a 0 as the remainder, we can stop when the degree of R of x is less than 2, which is when it is either 1 or it could be 0. We might just get a constant value as the number could be a 4 or a 7 or something. So degree of 0 or 1, at that point we stop because the degree of R of x should be less than the degree of g of x. This is the division algorithm, what it states. Right? And verify the division algorithm. We'll do it subsequently. Let's first do the long division, find out q of x and see what R of x is. I'm going to run through the long division method quickly. We have x cube as the first term of the polynomial. The first term of g of x is equal to x square. So take the first term of q of x to be an x. We have things going well for us. So x times x square is equal to x cube minus a 2x is what we have. Subtract this one. X cube minus x cube gets cancelled. 5x minus of minus 2x will leave us with 7x. I'm going to bring down these two terms, which is going to be minus 3x square plus 7x minus 3 is what we have. Now, I have a minus 3x square here. The first term here is an x square. So I'm going to multiply it with a minus 3. Minus 3 times x square is minus 3x square. Minus of minus will make this as a plus. So we get a plus 6. Let's subtract this term. So what we're going to get is these two get cancelled. 7x minus 3 minus 6 is equal to minus 9. This is not a 0. R of x we have, I'm calling this as R of x and I know it's R of x basically because the degree of this expression is lesser than the degree of g of x. So what do we have right now here? P of x is x cube minus 3x square plus 5x minus 3. What was g of x for us? G of x was x square minus 2. What is the quotient of this division? Q of x ends up being x minus 3. Do we have a remainder? Yes, the remainder is not 0, which means x square minus 2 is not a factor of this polynomial, and the remainder ends up being 7x minus 9. The verification process, let's do it in the next slide. Quickly run through this entire division in a printed form. Quotient of this division is x minus 3. The remainder exists and it is equal to 7x minus 9. In quickly telling you, why is this the remainder? The degree of this is equal to 1, which is less than the degree of g of x. What do we mean by verifying? What is the division algorithm? The division algorithm is P of x is equal to g of x, this expression, times q of x plus r of x. So I'm going to do the right hand side and check out where I'm going to get this answer, which is P of x. G of x is an x square minus 2. Q of x is an x minus 3. So g of x times q of x plus r of x is equal to 7x minus 9. X square times x is equal to x cube. X square minus 3 is minus 3x square minus 2x. Minus of minus will make it as plus 6 plus 7x minus 9 is what we have. Let's club like terms. X cube, there's no more cube term. There's only one square term, that's minus 3x square. I have a minus 2x plus 7x, that's going to leave me with a 5x. Plus 6 minus 9 is a minus 3. Voila, we got the same thing. So whatever we have done is absolutely right. Quickly run through this verification as well in a printed form. This is what we have as verification. This is g of x, this is q of x, this is r of x. The expansion of all of these things give us the polynomial that we started with. So therefore, it is verified and done. Before you leave, do two things. Sign up at online.maxtute.com for CBSE online coaching for class 10 maths. It takes less than 5 minutes in all of 3 steps to get started. And do one more thing. Subscribe to this channel, youtube.com/maxtute, and spread the word about this channel to your friends and classmates.